Love it. All right. I'm going to get rolling with this team. Everybody good with that? Yeah? Let's do the dang thing. So, first off, welcome everybody. It's fun to see you all digitally. I see most of you in person, and I spend most of my time like on a Zoom screen. So it's nice to be in my natural habitat with all of you. Today, we are walking through an exercise that I have been doing probably the last 2.5 years with a lot of corporate clients and business mentoring clients. And this is a concept introduced to me that's really just reshaped how I perceive myself, how clients perceive themselves. And really, what that allows us to do is make outcomes happen a lot faster. So, the concept of what we're doing today is called Be, Do, Have. And most people approach goal setting with a flawed thinking. We think that, okay, once I have the resources, then I will have the proof that I am that person. So once I am healthy and fit, then I can be happy. Or once I have enough money, then I can be more generous. And what happens, most of us on this call are in our 30s, you see that your goals keep getting pushed further and further down the road as you get older and older. It almost feels like everything is always out of reach, which can be infuriating at times. So rather than, hey, once I get the things, I'll be the person, we are going to be the person so that we can have the outcome. Because you do not get more of what you actually want, you get more of who you actually are. So in this example, if you want to be a fit, healthy person or have a fit, healthy body, you need to take the actions of a fit, healthy person. Very simple on the surface. So we are going to get into this. I want to ask you guys a question first. And by the way, participation today is encouraged. I can talk really fast, but I don't want to do that. So I want to ask you guys, who's familiar with the term an avatar? Just like show of hands, know what an avatar is. Josh, can you unmute yourself? Tell me what an avatar is.
Like a stand-in for yourself, a kind of personification of yourself in a different setting.
Yes, exactly. It's almost like this character of yourself, representation. And we all have an avatar, whether we think so or not, we do. And what I'd like to do is a quick activity just to kind of reinforce the value of an avatar. So I want everyone to just like shake it out for a second, like do it with me, get loosened up. All right, we are going to sit in our chairs, and I want you guys to close your eyes and do this in real time. And I want you to envision yourself, you are a king or a queen. We are not gender specific on that. You're a king or a queen, and you are sitting on a throne. I want you to feel the chair. I want you to envision the room that you're in. Keep your eyes closed. As you sit on this throne and you are a king or a queen, what does the room look like? What colors do you see? What are you wearing? What's the energy in the room as you sit there? What does it smell like? What does it feel like? And then I want you to envision you look over at one of your subjects and you request a cup of your favorite drink. Maybe it's decaf coffee. Maybe it is a old fashioned. Whatever it may be, you say blank and you request it. Once you have captured all of this information in your mind, I want you to open your eyes for me, just so I know you're done. Beautiful. Tori, when you closed your eyes and envisioned this, what did you see? What was the room like? How were you sitting in your chair?
Um, to be fair, I've been looking at a lot of fairy tale wedding vibes, so this is where this is all coming from, okay? So bear with me. Super, super high ceilings. There's flowers and things everywhere because I tend to kill them on my own. So I'm like, yeah, I'll have people that take care of that stuff for me. So there's flowers everywhere. And then when I reach over to grab my drink or to request my drink, I say, or what do I say? I had it in my head. I'm too polite. How do I say this? I'd like my tea. I'd like my sweet tea.
Okay, great. And the person you were asking, were they like nervous to talk to you? Were they scared of you? Were they excited to talk to you?
No, very I guess when I envision my like, because I'm the queen, right? My person, my right hand man type people, uh, they're just very calm and like, yeah, I'll do that for you.
Beautiful. All right. Anyone else have something that they shared? Anything that was different?
Everyone had the fairy tale vibes.
Everyone had the fairy tale. Mr. Shepherd, come off mute and tell me what you saw, what the room was like. Tom's wife's going to have to get him off mute.
There. Testing went, yeah.
You're good.
I was in a sky-rise building in Manhattan,
Ooh.
overlooking Central Park, in a room with lots of wood floors, dark paints, cool pictures on the wall. And I asked Tim Alexander to bring me a glass of Camus.
I love that. That's so good.
And of course, he gave me the middle finger and said, "Go get it yourself." So,
Beautiful.
yeah.
All right. Now, I want you guys to shake it out. We're getting rid of that identity. We're not that anymore. All right. We're going to close our eyes again. I want you to envision yourself. You're in a room, and this time you are a villain. You are a malevolent or a villain. What does the room look like? What colors do you see? What are you wearing? What do you feel? What does it smell like in there? How are you sitting? What's your posture? And I want you to envision you look over at one of your subjects and you request a drink again. And once you've collected all the information, I want you to open your eyes for me. Give you 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2. Beautiful. Everyone should have their eyes open now. Mr. Joseph Sasser, I would love if you could take yourself off mute. What did you see?
I think I saw myself in like an underground bunker, kind of hidden away. That way, I'm kind of hidden, not like Batman's cave, but like, the Joker's kind of cave in a way.
Okay.
And I think the way I wouldn't really request my drink, it would be more of a demand, and like it's either you pass or fail, and you do not want to fail.
You are evil.
Yes.
What were you wearing?
I was probably wearing stuff to where it shows my status of being more important. That way, someone walks in the room, they know I'm the guy you don't want to mess with. Also, the guy that looks like they're in charge.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and
like,
were people excited to talk to you?
Or nines.
Okay.
What?
I said, were people excited to talk to you, or were they scared of you?
They were excited to talk to me because. No, they're not excited to talk to me. They're very scared.
Yeah. Chels, what'd you see as a villain?
Room, all red, all gold, all black. Center of attention. Everyone's scared of me.
And how did you ask for a glass of your favorite beverage?
Angry. Now.
Angry?
Yeah.
How'd you say it?
Give me it now.
I've heard that tone.
I know.
And
good.
it's different from the Queen. How?
It's not. It's the exact same.
Oh, awesome. Good. So the purpose of that exercise, guys, is both scenarios were sitting in a room. Both scenarios were asking for a glass of our favorite drink. The energy changed. How you guys perceived yourself changed. What you wore, the clothes you had, those changed. The way you spoke, that changed. Both scenarios doing the exact same thing, but just viewing ourselves differently. And I think it's such a powerful reminder in that how you perceive yourself alters every decision you make throughout your day. If you view yourself as not as good as someone else, or you view yourself as not enough, or I'm not quite there, or maybe I'm not good with money, or any of these things, you're going to make decisions accordingly, and then you will create that reality. So what I think is so awesome about this is we can rewire that. We can rewire how we think about ourselves, which will rewire our behaviors, which will change our external environment around us. So now we're going to dive into the activity portion of this. So I would love for all of you guys to have a piece of paper in front of you. Let's see if I can, there we go. And it should look like this. We're just going to draw 3 columns, boom, boom, boom. Really straightforward. I'll give you guys a minute to go ahead and grab that. And I will continue caffeinating. All right, looks like we're all ready to rock. Let's do this. So all the way in this left-hand column, I want you to think of 5 ways that you would describe yourself. And these don't have to be bad, they don't have to be good. Usually the first 5 things that come to mind are great. So maybe it's you are outgoing. Maybe you can be a little short-tempered. Maybe you're giving. Whatever these things are, I just want you to write them down. No judgment. And again, the first things that usually pop in your head are the right things. And when you're done, just set your pen or pencil down so I know that you're done, and look at the screen for me. For those of you that are joining a little bit late, amazing. Grab a pen and paper. Grab your paper. I'm glad you're here. Draw what you see on the screen. And we will have a recording this as well. If you guys can have your video up, even better. Looks like we're still writing, so I'm going to give us some time here. Looks like Samuel's done. Tori might be done. Nope, she's deep thinking. Joe is done. Just 5 things. All right. Looks like we're all wrapping this up. Perfect. 5 things. Who's willing to share what they wrote about themselves? Perfect. Steve, you're the man. Let's do it.
So there's a little bit of good and bad here. I try to be patient with people, kind, try to be hardworking. Sometimes I can be a difficult person to have in conversation because I don't always listen. If I'm not, because it's something I always have to, that doesn't come naturally to me, that I have to work on, is to be present so that I can be, empathetic, with, the person who I'm engaged with at the time.
Awesome. Who else? I'd love to have a couple people.
I went with hardworking. I can be short-tempered at times. I blame that on my Polish roots. I'm handy, reliable, and I put this one down, but I don't know if anyone really would see this in me, but I'm kind of a smart ass.
Little bit. I love it, man. Good. All right. So that's kind of like our current state right now for most of us. That's our current way of being, are those 5 things. Now, in this middle column here, I want you to think up when you are showing up at your worst. Like the 5 things that you don't like, the 5 ways that you would say, like, these things aren't so great, or I perceive them to be not so great about me. Maybe you're short-tempered, maybe you're jealous, maybe you're insecure, maybe you're lazy at times. Whatever it is, no judgment. Maybe you're a Bears fan. I'll give you guys about 15 seconds here. Five, four. Looks like Sam's done, Tori's done, Chelsea's done, Autumn's done. Wow, you guys are so fast at writing things you don't like about yourselves. Amazing. Funny how that works.
I was driving.
All right. All right. So, who is willing to share the not so fun things?
I can do that for you.
Let's hear it, Josh.
I can, I'm inconsistent, distracted easily, susceptible to just going for like the immediate gratification and feel like I lack the self-control to kind of push beyond that. I need too much detail and too many ducks in a row before I take action. And, at the same time, get really impatient for things. So.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks for sharing those, man. Chelsea, I saw you shot your hand up quickly on this one.
I will always share the things about myself that I hate. Easy. Angry, insecure, entitled, reactive, hurt. I had to look that up. No worries. But that's the word.
Okay. So, what I want you guys to do, we've written 10 words at this point. I want you to draw a big circle around all 10 of those words collectively. And I want you to read them as a whole to yourself. And I want you to write the one thing that comes to mind when you read all of those words. For me, mine would be emotional. I have emotional Brad. Just one word that you believe describes all of it. I'll give you guys about 15 seconds to figure out that word. And again, usually the first thing that pops in your head is the right thing. All right. Tori.
Your mic cut out a little bit, but I'm assuming you're asking me to say what.
Yeah, I said, Tori, what did you write?
Okay, chaotic Tory, what it tends to be when we do this.
Chaotic Tori. Okay. Autumn, I'd love to hear yours.
I put thoughtful. Just
Thoughtful.
Full of thought.
Full
Always
of thought.
Always thinking.
Okay. Samuel?
Mom or anyone with kids, go on mute. You got 5 seconds. I put clusterfuck.
Okay. And let's see, who else we got here? Steve, what'd you have?
I put hardworking.
Hardworking? Good. Love it.
Yeah.
And you guys, I would love if you just would type the word that you would describe in the chat. So even those of you that aren't able to be on video, just go ahead and type your word, whatever it is, type it in the chat. See, we got a good amount of people with their mic or with the video off, which is great. I'm glad you're here. Beautiful. Okay. Now, at the top of these two columns, what I want you to do is write old way of being. Technically, it's our current way of being, but it's going to be our old one soon. Progressing. I like it, Shepard. Hardworking, passionate, unselfish, misaligned. Good, guys. These are all awesome. Now, the third more exciting column, now that we all went through Debbie Downer Town, I want you to read that second column to yourself. And for every word you have in the second column, I want you to write the opposite. So if you wrote selfish, maybe you're giving. If you wrote distracted, maybe you are focused. And write this in a way that kind of lights you up, that makes you feel like, yeah, like that feels as descriptive as you want with it. And same rules apply. Once you guys are done, just put down your pens or pencils and look at the screen so I know we're done. Justin wrote missing. Good. Awesome. Beautiful, guys. All right. Autumn, go ahead and tell me what's in your third column.
Okay. So I put optimistic, 2 steps ahead, or like proactive, thoughtful, again, more of like full of thought, confident, and secure, or like sure of like what's in my head.
Hell yeah. How do you feel reading that list compared to your second list?
Pretty damn good.
Pretty damn
Sorry,
good.
dang,
That's what we like to
dang.
hear.
Sorry for the children.
Damn's acceptable. We'll take that. Awesome. Who else is willing to share theirs? I love hearing these. Yeah, just go ahead and take yourself off mute, Tori.
Okay. Focused, assertive, open-minded, productive, and proactive.
Whew. I love the proactivity. Nice. All right. Good. Now, we're going to do the same thing that we did earlier, how we read that entire list. I want you to read those 5 words to yourself, just that last column. And what's the one word that comes to mind when you read that list? And I want you to go ahead and just write that at the bottom. Same rules apply. When you're done, look up so I know you're done. Give me a thumbs up, peace sign, middle finger, whatever. Great, love it. All right, so now we have two lists with two titles at the bottom of it. So next to the word that you use to describe yourself on the very first one and the very last one, I want you to sign your name next to it. So if you were thoughtful Autumn, for example, or if you were misaligned Chelsea, I want you to sign your name. And then I want you to do the same thing for that third column, whatever word you use to describe yourself. So in my case, it's influential Brad. So emotional Brad became influential Brad. And I would love to hear what your old way of being was and what your new way of being was. So if you could just tell me like, okay, misaligned Chelsea became blank Chelsea. I'd love for you guys that aren't available to be on video to go ahead and write that in the chat for me. And for those of you that are on video, I'd love to hear in person like what you guys have.
Abundant Chelsea from misaligned Chelsea.
I like it. Abundant Chelsea.
Mentor Tori. So from chaotic Tori to mentor.
Ooh.
And Tori.
Mentori. Nice.
Missed opportunity for that. That's fine. I did it for you.
That was good. Yeah. Shepard, what do you have? I'm curious. Nice. You know it's coming off mute when Susie's face pops up.
Progressing Tom became accomplished Tom.
Ooh, I like it, man. Thank you. Samuel, what'd you have?
I had calculated.
Calculated. Very nice. Corey dropped in the chat, dishonored Corey to Raiders Redemption. I love that, man. Justin put missing Justin to present Justin. Hell yeah. That's a good way of being, man. Josh, what did you have?
So I don't know. I'm kind of coming up with things a little bit different here. I ended up with from unselfish Josh to trustworthy Josh.
Okay.
And I don't know, maybe I'm doing the exercise a little different, but I guess there's things in here that I still feel like I've got a very keen sense of who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm proud of that and where I want to be. It's like these nagging things that get me in the way from being like the 100% version.
Yeah.
Right. That I feel are very, I don't know, maybe internal, maybe not. So I don't know that I went from a bad to a good.
No.
From like a, maybe some people think it's good. I sometimes think it's not so good to how I want to be, perceived or understood.
You bring up a great point there. For your current way of being or your old way, there is no right or wrong on how we do this. And it brings me to a really good point here. And that is that second column. For those things to exist, it means the third column has to exist in us already. So what I mean by that is how do we know that there is darkness? Well, darkness is the absence of light, right? So if we can be angry, well, that means we also have times when we know what it's like to not be angry. Or if we can be insecure, that means we also know at some level what it feels to be confident. Now, we might have that dial or that dial turned way the wrong direction, like too much on like the insecure version of ourselves or whatever it may be. And all we want to do is just amplify those good things. So what you're like, Josh, in your example, like you have a lot of good things going already, which is amazing. And we just need to turn the dial up on a couple other areas right now. So it's not, hey, like we need to get rid of all this old stuff. No, it means like we have a lot of great things going and we're going to amplify the things that maybe have been suppressed in us for a while. So I'm glad you brought up that point because it's a really common one. Yeah, there's no right or wrong as you do this. Joe put passionately unstable to just badass Joe. I love that. Good to optimized, insecure to confident. These are great. Beautiful. So what we want to do is we want to amplify a lot of these things. Looks like Tom is at our home. Perfect. It does look like he's at our house, actually. We want to amplify like the good things in us. Now, it's easy. You guys have practiced an old way of being for such a long time. We all have. I'm 38 years old. I have 38 years of programming built into me at this point. 38 years of habits and ways of viewing myself. I still have that insecure seventh grade kid that got pushed around like in my head. Like he's still there. So what we want to do is we want to remind ourselves of this new way of being constantly. And how I like to do that is to use an anchor or a totem. And what I mean by an anchor or totem, it's a reminder of that emotional state. So for me, it used to be a pinky ring. Like that was my sign of influential Brad. I put the pinky ring on and it was like, okay, like every time I put this on, like I'm going to like think the way influential Brad thinks. That's changed. Like your totem will change, how you view yourself will change every like 6 to 12 months. But your guys' homework, I want you to think of, maybe it's a piece of jewelry, maybe every time you put on a watch, maybe every time you look at a certain photo, maybe when you listen to a song. I want you guys to find an anchor or a totem that reminds you of this new way of being. So that reminds you of influential whoever or thoughtful whoever, whatever it may be. Tori, I remember you had one of these before. Now that you are engaged, has that changed?
Yes, it is now. The engagement ring is the anchor.
The engagement ring is the anchor. Okay. And then, so what we can start doing when we're going through our day and making decisions, you can ask yourself, okay, is this my old identity or is this the new identity of who I want to be? I use this as a decision-making filter for a lot of things. And what it does, it forces me to take action. So I'll ask myself when I'm in a situation, is this what influential Brad would do? Does influential Brad like wreck 2 bags of Sour Patch Kids at 11 p.m.? All right, probably not. Like, even though God, I want to at times. And it helps me make better decisions on a long enough timeline. Same thing in social circles, social situations. Influential Brad, he says yes to events, even that he doesn't really want to go to at times. And it turns out great every time he does it. My life gets better. So doing this will downstream change your behavior, and that's going to change your entire identity, your entire life. So the whole purpose of this today was just to introduce the concept that we can reframe our external environment and change that by altering how we view ourselves. What questions come up for you guys as we enter the tail end of this? This is a topic that I spend most of my day like pondering and working with clients on. And really, it's the foundation of what we do at Velocity. I know you walk in, you see barbells in a gym, and I always know, like most people think like that's going to be the thing that's going to fix their problem. And I know how they view themselves is going to be the thing that changes their problem and fixes their life. So I would love to answer any questions. Chelsea, you have one. Perfect. Let's go.
I think the big thing for clients when they think about, being the person that they want to be is, well, I don't know how to be a person who's, for mine, joyful, secure, gracious, whatever. And it is very much so but you've seen people who are that way or act that way or whatever. So your version of that, as far as, somebody who's joyful or whatever, be like that, act like that, because then you'll believe yourself to be that. And I think that that's where a lot of people have the questions of, well, how do I act like something that I've never been? It's like, well, you have a version or visual of what you think that is. So be that, you know, when somebody wants to be healthy, but they don't necessarily know how. You've seen it.
So you bring up a really good point, and it gets to the concept that your brain, it's actually this amazing thing. It doesn't recognize the difference between a memory or just like a thought. So if I ask clients, and this is one of my favorite things to do, make new friends. Yeah, amen, Steve. If I ask a client like, hey, can you describe like the day your kids were born? Almost instantly, every single person starts smiling. They start to like feel good. They start changing their entire emotional state because they're reliving a memory, and their body takes it as like, oh, this is happening right now. So what we can do is we can start altering our emotional state. So you can remember a time where you experienced joy. You can remember a time where you felt these things. And if you really struggle to do that, well, let's imagine that we have the outcome. So for me, I envision us pulling into our future property, like almost every single night. I envision letting the dogs out and they're running in the yard. I see Chelsea in the kitchen, like making cookies at Chelsea's Cookie Cottage. We've already named it. And I can smell it, and it's real. And in that moment, I feel grateful. I feel proud. I'm like, yes, I did the damn thing. And then I take that emotional state and I go live my day. And then you do that a long enough timeline, you keep making decisions that start bringing that reality like into existence. It's this really amazing phenomenon. It takes a lot of practice, but the more you do it, you can't unsee it. It becomes your reality. So I'm glad you brought that point up, Chelsea. So if you're struggling, remember a time where you did feel that way. If you can't remember a time, imagine that all of the things that you want to have happened already, and live from that state. Great question. Any questions from the rest of you guys? Check the chat here. Make new friends, says Steve. Great. Awesome. I want to thank you guys for being on this call. It shows that you're serious about, leveling yourselves up. Again, the physical stuff just happens downstream of your identity. So the big work that we do is changing how we view ourselves. If you guys have any questions on this or need additional support, I am happy to meet one-on-one. I'm happy to grab coffee and dive further into this stuff. I'm proud of all of you guys. I'm grateful to be in the room with winners like you. Have a hell of a weekend. As always, let's all win, baby.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you, guys.